Run right, Jack. Mizzy on Mac. HS on deck, no meds. My S bake off with gap. Yes. Friends in the camp, but still.
Yo, searching for back another video. Today we got first ever Q&A Sunday. Me as a person been very, very heavily inspired by KSI since a very young age. Like literally, I remember his videos from like 2012. Like remember the one where he played that guy on FIFA, then he got really angry by it, and then he said he would kill him or something. Like the guy gets angry with FIFA. I watched that like the week it came out. Like I've been watching KSI like my whole life. And one of the things, his favorite things that I used to love watching were Q&A Sunday. And I was bored the other day. I was like, look, last week there were no songs, that big songs dropped on the Sunday, and I felt like a bit weird not doing a video on a Sunday. Like, I've got so used to doing that. So I was like, yo, why don't I just do Q&A Sunday? And someone suggested it. They were like, oh, you should do Q&A Sunday. I'm like, okay, yeah, cool. So I was like, to you lot, should I do it? You're like, yeah. So without any further ado, we've got the first ever Q&A Sunday. Let's just get into this. First question comes from UK Drill Media, who I haven't heard much of recently. I can't lie. I hope you're all good. But he said, question.
If gang pull up, are you gonna back your brethren?
Of course, man, of course. Someone replied to that and they just started laughing. Who's your favourite gang from South, East, North and West? Pick one from each. South, probably Harlem. Like my favourite rapper is PS, but in terms of our whole group, it's probably Harlem, I can't lie. East, 7th. Actually, wait. 7th for Homerton. I'd say Homerton, I can't lie, but out of my favourite rappers in the East is probably CB, but the gang itself, Homerton. North, probably MPK, I can't lie, MPK. And West, who's in West? CGM 1011, that's easy. Would you rather listen to Harlem Spartans for the rest of your life or 1-4? Honestly, I'd say Harlem, partly because they've got more of my favourite songs. 1-4, I made the 1-4 playlist today. There are only 11 songs. And then my Harlem playlist, I got, I think, like 30 songs. It's probably Harlem. What do you want to be when you are older? I know you're 17, but still. Yeah, no, honestly, like 17, like, you're still in school. Like, I'm still in school. I've still got a year left. I've got year 13 next year. Then after that, I'm going off to uni. I want to be a lawyer, a criminal lawyer. So it'll be funny, like, I'll be getting rappers on my cases that I'm trying to bail out. And then I go home and I'm listening to their music. But for real, like, since a very young age, I've always wanted to be a lawyer because I always argue a lot. And I don't really lose arguments that often. So that will come in handy if I'm in court. What football team do you support? I support Arsenal. Like right now we're playing Watford. It's the last game of the season. I think we're winning like 3-2. I've kind of emotionally detached myself from Arsenal, like to the point where like if I don't watch the game, I don't care. If I'm watching the game and we just get it, it's just stupid. Like that will make me angry. But if I'm not watching the game, I won't really care. Like I'm literally doing a video whilst we're playing. I don't really care. How much can you bench, squat, and deadlift? I don't do any of that stuff at the gym. Like it's been so. I think I do like arm stuff. I do arm and chest stuff, but I've forgotten what weights I did because it's actually been like 4 months. Is there any up-and-coming Australian rap artist you're excited about? Black Napoleon, 6'1" Black Napoleon. I'm pretty sure that's his name. He's my guy. I talked to him on Twitter, reacted to his last song. He's got a song up on Press Play, so after this I'll probably go react to that. I'm excited to see what happens with him. Do you have a girlfriend? Nah, I don't. Like literally, I'm just focused on YouTube right now. Like literally, as I said, I've got uni next year, so there's no point starting something mad with someone when it's already got an expiration date. Like there's already an end date set on the relationship, so there's no point starting anything up. Instead, I'm literally just focused on YouTube and making sure I can pattern my A-levels. Put aside all the beefs, what would be your dream drill link up? Mine would be Earth B and Harlem. That's happened. There's literally Earth B and Harlem songs together. Go listen to Drill, Lowski, Heady One and RV. It's one of a very. Someone said they think it's someone that doesn't really listen to drill. I saw them once, and he said that's his favorite drill song. He's got a good reason to say that's a very good song. But now mine would be PS and Mizomat. They've rapped on the same beat. Zone 2 Step and War were on the same beat. So someone very smartly put the mix together, and it's such a sick song, man. Like when you put PS's verse from that and Mizomat's verse, which for some people is the best drill verse ever, is such a cool link up. I don't think it will ever happen, because Zone 2 mock certain things too much, so that will probably never happen. Who's your favourite reactions or top 3 favourite reactors? My favourite probably Walks, I can't lie. That's why I was gassed when I actually did a video of him. Like literally from the start I've been watching Walks and Lee, like literally just those two. So yeah, top 3 Walks, Lee. I don't really watch anyone else, I can't lie. Like, it wouldn't make sense for me to put someone else in the top 3. Like literally when a song, I rarely watch reactions now. Like they're not even on my recommended on YouTube. But if there's a song I want to see a reaction of, I'll check Lee's page and I'll check Walk's page. And what inspired you to do reactions? Yeah, literally those two. Like I've always been into drill, and I didn't realise that I could literally make content of me just listening to the songs I listen to anyway. Like yeah, there wasn't really too much else thought into it, like because I didn't start off doing reactions. I started off doing random stuff that no one's ever gone back to look at. Like, I've got some random videos on the channel. Then literally, one day some people were like, oh, react to this up and coming Australian guy. I was like, okay, cool. Like, no one had ever suggested a song up on that point. So I reacted to the song and it was dead. It was so dead. Like, I literally don't even know how there were like 4 of them. They got onto my channel and requested it. Must have been his henchmen, like, only explanation. Then Bear Australian started suggesting more songs to react to, and I literally ignored all those comments. I thought that video, at the time my channel was so small, so I saw bare comments, I just ignored it. I didn't really know what to do. Then when 1-4 blew up, then I reacted to their stuff, and literally immediately I was loving their music. Saw Lee's reaction to 1-4, saw Lee's reaction to PS. Exit Wins in Zone 2. That was PS's first song back, so I wanted to see someone's reaction, and I watched Lee's one. That was the first ever reaction I ever watched. Ever come to Australia, lad, you would love it. It goes off someday. I'm sure, so I'll be surprised if I die without going to Australia. So definitely someday. Who had the best verse on Kenneth and Where It Started? That's a sticky one, because Mizomac's verse is probably the most iconic. But if you listen to Active's verse, I can't even rap all of it. Like, I've known that song for nearly 4 years now, and still some of it goes over my head. Like, when I'm trying to rap it, I still don't know off by heart. I must have listened to that song over 100 times. Active's verse is better than Mizomac's verse, but Mizomac's verse on Call Me a Spartan is better than his verse on Kenneth Where It Started. It's just the whole, it's the music video, isn't it? I can't lie. Like him walking out of the station, like, that's probably the most iconic picture of the whole of drill. Like, that's why if you see me in the drill discussion videos, I must have used that one clip like 30 times. Who are your top 3 artists, any genre? Drill, PS, not drilly, but then can be drilly, heady one, and then completely not drill, Chip, because I grew up on Chip. Like, I actually genuinely grew up on that guy. Who's the most versatile in 2020 UK drill scene? Probably Heady One. I can't lie. Favorite in HS Harlem apart from Miz? Either low skill or on drills. Who's your favorite rapper from 1-4? Lex. I've been saying it for ages. Like, before they all went in, I was always rating Lex. Like, obviously YP at first, but then as I started listening to the songs more on my own time, I just like Lex's verses more. Who's your idol in football? Pele or Ronaldo? Either Pele or Ronaldo. Like, in terms of idol, I remember one night I like proper researched into Pele. The next day I was doing bicycle kicks on the playground, like concrete playground. But now I've grown up on Ronaldo. Like, literally, he's been like my favorite person ever. Like, literally from like 2008, I've watched his whole guy's career. I always knew he was the greatest, and now he's proven it himself. Who's your favorite Australian artist? And will you react to more Australian artists such as Wombat, Lissy, and Husky? I've reacted to so much Lissy already. But nah, I used to listen to more Australian music. On my old phone, I used to have a playlist for Australian music that I used to listen to quite a lot. Then on the new one, I forgot to make the new playlist, and I've just been liking drill, like UK drill, more in quarantine. So I haven't really listened to too much. But he's my favourite artist. Probably Lissy still, actually, I can't lie. Because especially when I heard his EP, a lot of the songs are like proper, like, actually, like resonating with me. Especially, I forgot, like, Hard Yakka. That, I really like that song. Top 3 wasted potentials in drill. Probably Shoki, man. Like, Shoki probably top 1. Like, not even drill. The fact that he was kind of doing drill, but like, he would have gone on to become some like big thing. Like, I don't even think you can even compare anyone. Like, probably SJ as well. SJ wasn't done. Like, his work here was not done at all. And probably Sneaks as well. Actually, I can't like, even Sneaks. That's the 3 I'd probably go with, because Sneaks, that's why that trial, that whole case actually hurt my feelings. Like, some proper serious talent was gone. Know when you die or how you die. If you know how, then you'll avoid that your whole life, but then eventually you will forget that you're avoiding something, and then it will kill you. Or if you know when you'll die, then you'll live your whole life, but then when it starts coming up to that day, like when that year starts creeping up, then you'll get bare paranoid and you just won't be able to live normally. So I probably know how, I can't lie, because if you know when, like that week, you're going to be shook. And then on that day, like you'll probably die on that day from paranoia. Like, literally, you'll die from shock, that you're just so scared the whole day. Like, even if it's on like 11:59 p.m, that will kill you, because you're so scared like something's gonna happen today. So yeah, I probably know how, I can't lie. Will you do more story time videos? Yes, I just need some stories to happen, like, or just remember some stories. I've lived some funny life, but I can't remember all the stories. That I'll have conversations where I'll just be telling stories, but then when I sit down to try to think of stories for a video, it just goes out my mind. What's your first car and dream car? First car, probably a VW Golf or Ford Focus, probably a VW Golf. Dream car, McLaren P1, because I used to be proper into cars when I was younger. I remember one time I saw a McLaren P1, literally right outside my house, and I was just stuck in shock. I actually started crying out of shock. I was like I was bare shocked. It was like my favourite ever car, either that or the Ferrari 458, because I remember when I first got my Xbox 360, it was on the cover of Forza Motorsport 3, and I got that as a bundle with the Xbox. And ever since, it's just always been one of my very favourite cars. What ends you from? I'm not from London, I'm from Potter's Bar, outside London, is in Hertfordshire. I'm not from London, but it literally takes like, what, like half an hour to get into London. Like, literally, to go meet Watts the other day, it took like around half an hour. It's near. Your top 5 drill artists of all time. PS, Mizzlemac, CB, AM, LD, and it's not changing for a long time. Advice for upcoming drill channels: be consistent. Try to do videos that we haven't seen as much. That's why UK Drill Media had success off the bat with that Life Of series. Who's been doing that? Who's actually... YGM did a little one. YGM did, what did he do? I forgot what he did. YGM did something similar. But then when I saw because that's how I knew UK Drill Media. I was like, mind my own business. Then I saw Life Of PS. I was like, what do you mean Life Of PS? And I clicked, I was like, what? And like, he was getting videos of when he was rapping in college. I'm like, what? How have you got this footage? So yeah, probably stay consistent and do things that we haven't seen before, and you're practically guaranteed success, I can't lie. What is your favourite Miz verse and track? Verse, Nights in Harlem. Shout out Samir as well. I used to listen to that song back in year 9, like 3 years ago. But yeah, my favourite verse of his probably Nights in Harlem, because he just says everything he needs to say. And if you listen to him now and you've heard that verse, the parallels from that verse, because I think he's clocked that not many people that listen to Joe have heard that verse. So there's a lot of things, like when he says Metropolitan, every time he says Metropolitan in a new song, he first started saying that on Nights in Harlem, and it's stuck ever since. So that verse is just so special, man. And it wasn't even drill. So the fact that he's got that versatility, yes, it's only one song, but the fact that he can do that, like, for me, that song was just so sick, man. And track, probably Call Me a Spartan. Either Call Me a Spartan or Can't Where It Started. No, what am I talking about? DJ Khaled for both, actually. Nights in Harlem was a very special verse, but now DJ Khaled for both track and verse. Favorite 1-4 track? Ben 10. Like, literally the moment I heard it, like, with me, there's a certain level of gas that's like gas for that video and that day, and I'll still be gas for the rest of the day. And then there's gas where I'm like, yo, I actually cannot believe how cold this track that I'm listening to is, and that level of gas never fails. And literally, I put on Ben 10 today for the first time in a while, and it still gasses me like how it first did. If you haven't seen that reaction, I don't know if it's still in my top 5 most viewed anymore, because some of these videos getting crazy views, but definitely still in my top 10 most viewed videos, most viewed reactions. And it was literally, just go watch it. Just literally go watch it if you haven't seen it already. Who do you plan on getting in the discussion videos? That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna straight my imaginary beard. Would you ever do a podcast? Yeah, I would, you know. I actually would. Like, that is definitely something I would do. Because I like talking a lot. So yeah, I'm waffling. I was getting that arranged with someone, but then the talks broke down like a transfer. But for real, I would definitely do a podcast someday. Definitely. I'm talking like Boris Johnson. Definitely. But now for real, yeah, someday, because the way I talk, literally give me any discussion, it would be sick. Like, I would get you guys to give me a topic that you know I can actually talk about, and definitely, I'd love to do a podcast, man. Which song is the best? Can It and Where It Started, Take That Risk, 1011 No Hook, 1011 Next Up, or AM and Skengo's Mad About Bars? Notice, I'm pretty certain they're all from 2017. That tells you all you need to know about the state of drill that year. I I've loved this comment just now. Like I pressed the love button. Honestly, 2017. It will take something special to reach the heights of that year again. Like that was like the foundation level for drill. But since you've asked, take that risk. I think take that risk. Like literally, whenever I hear it, I get goosebumps. I was watching Driller's video yesterday, 2017 versus 2020 drill, and he put that against Only If You Knew. But literally, whenever I hear that, because I remember the first time I ever heard it, I was in the car, and one of my friends, shout out Chris, he was in the car, he was picking me up from foot with his mum, and he was playing in his mum's car, he was playing Take That Risk, and I was listening to the words like, why is this playing in the car when your mum's here? Like, what's going on? I remember I asked him. You know, it's very like, normally you get Shazam on your phone, like, it's a dignity thing, like, it's a pride thing. You don't want to ask someone what song it is, because you're like, I want to just get it myself. But I was like, fam, what is this song? Like, what is this song? And he told me, and like, it's, fam, legendary song, man. Right, my calculations, that is all the questions for today. So thank you for sending in those questions. There were loads. Like, this video is 20 minutes long right now. I'll cut it down in the editing, but that's quite long that's very, very long for a video. So I must have seen like over maybe 40 questions, maybe over 50. I don't know, there were loads. But I love if you're still here this far into the video. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you if you sent in a question. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. I'll come back again probably next week with another Q&A Sunday. This has been the first ever Q&A Sunday on my channel. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back again soon.